I have so much to hide and little money to lose, and that's what makes my life dangerous. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Rafael and I am here to review episode 9 of The Real Housewives Who Lost Their Complete Damn Minds of Beverly Hills. We start the episode off right where we left off at Garcelle's birthday party where Dirty Diana was just done taking on Sutton and Garcelle. Garcelle had removed herself from the entire conversation because she told Diana, you know what, you're being really rude right now and I'm not letting you ruin my night or my mood, so I'm walking away. So Garcelle left, so we're left with Diana, Sutton, and Diana's bodyguard, aka Kyle. So Sutton, she's trying to be relatable because they were just done talking about Diana's miscarriage that she just had and her internal bleeding. But before that, Sutton, again, she crosses boundaries for the third time by putting her hand on Diana's lap. And Diana was just like, don't touch. Like, Sutton, I just told you last week, stop doing that. Stop touching people and stop invading their spaces. So she goes on to tell Diana, I just want you to know that me and you have a lot in common. And I also had 2 miscarriages. But before she could even utter a second word, Kyle showed up to this party with nothing but splits and audacity because she jumps in and she's like, wait, hold on, Sutton. What do you mean 2 miscarriages? Since when? Like, since when did this happen? Like, I don't know about this. You never told me about this. So Sutton, she's just like, yes, Kyle, 2 miscarriages. I had 2 miscarriages. So anyway, so she's trying to move it along, but Kyle, she's not having it. She jumps back in and she's like, wait, Sutton, hold on. Wait, we're not done with this conversation. What do you mean 2 miscarriages? I don't know why you're bringing this up all of a sudden. Like, she's talking about her miscarriage. I just feel like you bringing this up right now. I don't know, this whole miscarriage story that you're saying, I just feel like it's a bunch of bullshit. And I'm like, wow, Kyle. And there it is, everybody. There it is. Season 1 Kyle on full display like Melissa Gorga. Like, I just said a couple of reviews ago that I was seeing Kyle, her mean side, come out here and there. But I feel like on this episode specifically, it was on full throttle. And if Sutton would have slapped the taste out of your mouth right then and there, Kyle, it would have been rightfully so. Because you don't tell that to another woman like, oh, I just feel like your miscarriage is a bunch of bullshit just because you didn't tell me. Again, why would she tell you? Because knowing you're a snake. You would tell the entire group. You'll probably make it into some type of storyline, or you'll probably go into investigation or something. You'll probably go to the hospital or something, like, oh, trying to dig up records or something to see if she really did have a miscarriage, knowing your track record on this show. So again, why would Sutton tell you or feel comfortable telling you that information? So Sutton, she continues on and she's trying to continue with this conversation with Diana by telling her, oh, I'm a good person. Just continue saying that she's a good person, right? Diana's just like, are you a good person or are you the devil? Are you? I'm not sure. So then Sutton, she's getting all worked up. She's getting emotional. She starts crying a little bit and she's getting teary-eyed, probably because of what Kyle just told her a couple of seconds ago. Of course, anybody would get their feelings hurt by that. Like, that is something very traumatic that a woman goes through. So of course, if I was in her shoes, I will also feel some type of way. But she's trying to push it along and she's like, you know what? Diana? You want me to be real with you? I feel like you're a motherfucker. And why did she even say that? Because Kyle, she jumped up and she's like, Sutton, stop. So then she starts grabbing her and she starts pulling her all over the place like some type of rag doll. And I'm like, Kyle, you really need to keep your hands to yourself because you're going to grab the wrong person one day on this show or in real life and they're going to put their hands back on you. You're lucky that Sutton, she allows this entire thing to go on. I believe you grabbed onto her last season as well. You're lucky that she's like a Southern belle and she's classy and she doesn't want to put her hands back on you because, again, if she would have slapped you again right then and there or put her hands on you right then and there in that moment, it would have been rightfully so again. And she's just manhandling her all over the place. I just did not like it. It was just a really bad look. I'm like, Kyle, what are you doing? Kyle goes on to tell Sutton, I believe Diana and her miscarriage story, but as for you and your 2 miscarriages, I don't know. It could have happened, possibly, maybe so, but I'm not sure. So Sutton is just like, wait a minute. Are you trying to insinuate that I'm a liar by saying that I possibly had these miscarriages? And again, Kyle, for you as a woman to accuse another woman of making this up or saying that she didn't really go through these miscarriages is just so disrespectful. And it's honestly a new low, even for you. Who says that? You don't even know what type of emotion or trauma Sutton went through with dealing with her 2 miscarriages. And for you to throw that in her face is just so wrong. So I'm not sure how Kyle is going to clean up her image after this entire episode because for the past 48 hours, she and Erika have been getting dragged all over online. So my best bet to you, Kyle, is for maybe to call IAmRafael Fix My Life and maybe she could give you some help or some pointers. And I believe that Kyle also put on her Instagram story yesterday explaining this whole entire thing. And I'm not going to read it because I think it's a bunch of BS. She went on to say that she was drunk in this moment and that she was just, throwing out whatever and that her words didn't come out right. But I'm like, okay, if your words didn't come out right and you were drunk, doesn't what's the quote? A drunken mind only speaks a sober tongue, or something like that. Doesn't that just intensify who you are even more? So what you're saying to Sutton, that's who you really are, Kyle. So it doesn't matter whether you're drunk or not. This is who you really are. So I mean, you showed your colors, and now you're trying to blame it on the alcohol. No, T-Pain, it's not gonna happen that way. She also went on to say that after this entire night, the next morning, she called up Sutton in the morning and apologized to her, and Sutton was okay with it, and she forgave her, and blah, blah, blah. And Sutton goes back to Diana. Diana's like, you know what, Sutton? You know, it's just going to take some time between me and you to get to a better place. Maybe, you know, maybe that's just going to be it. They kind of hug it out and squash it, but obviously it's all BS, because next week, from the previews, we see that Diana tells Sutton, I don't know why you believed anything I said in this moment right here at the party, because it was all lies and I was just playing you. And this is going to be the second time that Sutton allows herself to get played on this show. I mean, one time already last season with Erika, when she thought she was being a good friend to her, and now here we are with the same situation with Diana and her believing and her being so trusting of her. And yeah, Sutton goes on to say she's a good person, she's a good this, she's a good that, but that is also her downfall, because she's just going to allow everybody to walk all over her, and she's always going to be forgiving them no matter how many times they put a knife in her back. I mean, as soon as Kyle said, oh, you know, I just feel like your miscarriage story is a bunch of bullshit, the second that she would have said that, that whole friendship would have been over and in the garbage and down the toilet, and that's that. But no, she continues forgiving Kyle over and over and over again. So saying, yeah, you may be a good person as you say you are, but again, when is enough enough? And the whole situation, the whole dynamic between her and Kyle in this specific scene, and honestly their entire friendship, it really reminds me of Kyle and Kim, and how Kyle just thinks that she could treat Kim whatever way she wants, and how she was treating her in the limo the very first season where she reached across from her and then she looked like she was going to put her hands on her. That's the same type of vibe that Kyle gives me with Sutton. Kyle is just kind of like this control freak, and somebody needs to put a stop to her. Back over to Garcelle, Crystal, Dorit, and Erika. Erika's acting a hot-ass, drunken-ass mess towards Oliver, who is Garcelle's older son, and she's just like, yeah, Oliver, you're so handsome, you're so fine, you're so cute. Isn't he so cute, Dorit? He could probably pay for my lawyer bills and for my glam squad. Next thing you know, she starts pulling a Jen Shaw, and she starts flicking her leg in the air, and she's just like, yeah, do you like what you see? Do you like this? Do you like that I can stretch my leg out like this? And then she pushes it a little bit further by telling Oliver, who's also married, she's just like, so Oliver, I think maybe you should have your baby mama slide into my DMs and maybe we could have a three-way. And I'm like, now wait a minute, Erika. Why did you use that term baby mama when talking about his wife? She could have just addressed her by her proper title and told Oliver, have your wife slide into my DMs. But no, what did Erika do? She labeled his wife as a baby mama. And this further proves what I was saying in my last review about what Lisa posted on her Instagram story, how, oh, the second that you go against Garcelle, you're labeled as a racist. No, that's not the case at all. The fact is, Erika would not label Amelia, Lisa's daughter, as a baby mama. So why would she have to do it with Oliver's wife? So, Lisa, I hope you were paying attention and paying attention closely, because this is a perfect example how certain undertones or certain languages or certain behaviors on the show seem racist, because what Erika said to Oliver about his wife, that was very suspicious. Garcelle is outside saying goodbye to all the guests because the party is slowly coming to an end. So Crystal tells Garcelle, do you want your flowers? Do you want your flowers? Garcelle is just like, yeah, go get the flowers. So Crystal, she goes back inside with Jax, who is also Garcelle's 14-year-old son, to go get the flowers. Meanwhile, Erika, she's still acting a drunken ass mess on the couch. Jax, he picks up the flowers. Next thing you know, Erika tells Jax, what are you doing here? Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out before you get in trouble. And I'm just like, Erika, Jax, his face expression said it all. He was just holding the flowers and looking at Erika like, what did I do? What did I do to you to piss you off? What's going on here? Erika, you have lost your complete mind. Between you and Kyle, I'm not sure who's lost their mind more on this episode, because for you to be yelling at him for what? What is he going to get in trouble for? This is his mom's event. This is her party. So how is he going to get in trouble? Who are you? I was just so disgusted in Erika's behavior that entire night, and just because she was a sloppy, drunken mess does not make it okay either. I mean, first she was hitting on a married man and calling his wife a baby mama. Next thing you know, she's coming after Garcelle's other son and telling him to get the fuck out. Let that have been your son, Erika, and somebody on this show told him, get the fuck out. I'm pretty sure we will never hear the end of it coming out of your mouth. You will make it a whole situation for 20 episodes, but it's okay for you to say that to Jax? Absolutely not. So I was also happy for Crystal. I'll give her 1.5 points for putting her arm around Jax and saying, oh, don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. Let's go, Jax. And she walked him out of that situation because you could tell that he was probably uncomfortable and frozen and he didn't know what to do. And he was just frozen in place. So I'm glad that she was there to at least help him out. And Dorit, You were this close to being on the right side of something on the show for once when she in her confessional was just like, I can't believe that Erika just told Garcelle's 14-year-old son to get the fuck out. It honestly makes me sick to my stomach. You were so close, but then you contradict yourself like half an hour later when you sat down with PK, Mauricio, and Kyle, and then you poke fun at this whole situation. So, Dorit, you were so close, but then you blew it. So meanwhile, Garcelle outside, she catches wind of the whole situation because Jax, he explains to her what Erika said to him, and she obviously goes into mommy mode, and she's like, oh no, absolutely not. So she goes back inside. She tells Erika, you just hurt Jax's feelings. Please don't talk to him like that. Please do not talk to him like that. Next thing you know, Erika's just like, wait, what did I do to Jax? No, Jax, come back. Jax, come back. And I'm like, Erika, save it. It's already done. The damage is already done. You said what you said. It is what it is. It's no going back. When I first saw this scene, I wanted Garcelle to bring a little bit more oomph to Erika because you are not going to talk about her son and just get away with it like that. But when Garcelle explained it later on saying, I didn't really want to address anything right then and there with Erika because she was drunk. She's not in the right state of mind to have a conversation with me about what she said. I want to catch her when she's sober. Then I understood it a little bit more. But it's just so difficult because Garcelle, I understand in her position, not only that is she drunk, but also she can't go off the way she wants to when it comes to Erika because she knows deep down inside probably that if she does go off on Erika the way she wants to, that the audience or the cast are going to label her as a stereotype and say, she's an angry black woman. So it's just so unfortunate because I feel like sometimes the cast, they weaponize that and they know that about Garcelle. They're like, we could push her buttons. We could say whatever we want to her because we know that she's not going to fully go off on us the way she wants to. And it's unfortunate because she should be able to go off on anybody on this cast the way any one of them could go off on each other. So the other difficult part in this whole situation was when Garcelle was leaving the party with her sons. She was telling Jax, it's not okay for Erika to talk to you like that. It's not okay. And what was his reply? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine, Jax, because then you condition yourself in that mindset to just live like that into adulthood. Like, they could talk to me like that. It's fine. They could say whatever they want about me. It's fine. You could talk down on me. It's fine. It's fine if you just walk all over me. It's fine. It's not fine, especially coming from a white woman. In this case, Erika, who has been showing, racist undertones this episode, like 10 minutes in, and she probably looks at you like, I could say whatever I want to him. So get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. No, it's not fine. You have to put your foot down. And I'm glad that Garcelle stepped in and said, no, it's not fine. You have to have certain boundaries with people. And I hope that she continues installing that in her sons, especially her younger sons, growing up into adulthood. Like, no, it's okay to put your foot down and to have a backbone when people talk to you crazy. And honestly, if it was me and I had a son and I heard that Erika told him to get the fuck out, Erika, when I tell you, I would have brought up Tom. I would have brought up your legal issues. I would have brought up your fashions and how you only wear a shirt with a belt around it. I would have brought up your glam squad and how you can't even afford that. I would have brought up that you live in a box. Like, you would have been in trouble. So you guys say for now, but not for next week, because I'm not sure if anybody saw the preview, not a preview, but a sneak peek of next week's episode. It leaked online, I'm assuming. And we see that Garcelle, she finally addresses this situation with Erika face to face, but Cherie is also there and Cherie's also in it. Kyle, she tries to jump in it. So it's like a 2 for 2. And Garcelle and Cherie, they shut both of them down. So I can't wait to see that. Then we head over to a kickboxing class between Crystal and Dorit. Crystal set this whole thing up just in case if in the future Dorit and PK come up with another scam on trying to get insurance money. I mean, just in case if Dorit gets robbed again, she could defend herself. So Dorit, she walks in and already with her sob stories, she's telling Crystal, I just feel like ever since the night of the robbery, that the night of the robbery has been in my blood. It has been in my veins. And I'm just like, that sounds very concerning. Go see a doctor for that. So then they continue on. They start boxing. They start kicking. The instructor, he's all set up. Dorit, it's her turn. And she's just like, okay, are you ready for this instructor? Okay, remember, whatever kicks and blows I throw at you, it's nothing compared to what I went through the night of my robbery. Do you want to talk about it? You don't? You want me to kick instead? Okay, fine, it's fine. We'll talk about it later. Okay, here it goes, Are you ready for me? I'm really strong. Are you ready? Okay, Gucci. Was that good? Okay, here's another one. Louis Vuitton. Okay, another one? Okay, here it goes. Hermes. I'm so tired. Crystal, are you watching this? Yeah, it's so good. Nothing that you went through compares to what I went through in my robbery. I just want you to also know that as well. Okay, here we go. Hermes. Prada. Gucci, Louis Vuitton. Okay, that's enough. I'm gonna go get some water, okay? I'm gonna get some box water. And I'm just like, okay, that's it? I mean, whatever. If she got her lesson in, it is what it is. At least now we know that she could transform into a Powerpuff Girl if worse comes to worse. Then we get a dinner scene between Kyle and Sutton, and I'm like, is Kyle at least paying for the bill? That's the least that she could do since she's been acting a hot ass mess this entire episode. So they sit down, and Kyle, she's already starting with the apologies. She's telling Sutton, I want to talk to you about Garcelle's birthday party and what happened then. I mean, I think I went a little bit overboard with my producing. I mean, I was trying to make a good scene, but I feel like I kind of put my own foot in my mouth, and I feel like Andy, he's gonna text me and say that I'm fired and I'm not coming back next season, and I still want to hold the center diamond for next season. So I want to apologize to you for what I said, and I want you to know that I do believe about your miscarriages. It's just I didn't really know the whole full story right then and there when I got there, and I'm like, but that's the problem right there, Kyle. And even Sutton called you out right there. Like, the conversation was between her and Diana to begin with. It was not between you or Garcelle. You two just came out of nowhere. If you would have just mind your business, this whole situation wouldn't have been needed. You would have never had to apologize for anything. Why? Because you would have been minding your business, doing splits on the dance floor over there while both of them were having conversations over here. So again, if you would have just not interjected, everything would have been fine. But no, you just can't resist yourself. You always have to put yourself in the crossfire for some reason. So Sutton is just like, no, everything is fine between me and Diana. We hugged it out. It's just you didn't know the full story prior to you coming over here and not minding your business. So now you know to not produce scenes so extreme. And Kyle is just like, I know. I'm still going to be the producer, and I'm still going to try to produce some scenes between you and Diana next week. But I just want you to know that I'm sorry, at least for now, before I stab you in the back next time. And again, Sutton is just way too forgiving because she's just like, no, I forgive you and everything. And I forgive you about the whole miscarriage situation and how you assumed that they were fake. And again, Sutton, you're just way too forgiving. She's almost too forgiving to the point where she's almost too dumb herself. And I'm like, Sutton, if she stabs you in the back again, like what, we're already 9 episodes in, and I believe this is what, Kyle's like, what, 4th backstabbing already? That she has done to Sutton. I'm pretty sure that there's like 20 more episodes to go this season, and she's gonna backstab you at least 15 more times, and then you're just gonna always constantly forgive her. No, you have to put your foot down and tell Kyle, no, leave me alone, and then grab that purse that looks like a book and just whack her with it. Then we get a little montage of what everybody's doing on Thanksgiving Day. We see Garcelle and her sons, as well as Crystal and her children, doing like a turkey drive. They're setting up food on plates and giving it away to people. We see Dorit at her house. She's practicing on her next accent that she's going to try to imitate. Then we head over to Kyle's house. We see her. Then we see Kim. I'm like, oh, look at Kim. She was so excited. And then they pull the camera over and we see Teddy. And I'm like, oh. You know Teddy was just so excited to be on camera. You know she probably like had a whole watch party tonight. It was just like, okay, everybody, is everybody ready for my big return to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Yes, I'm going to be on this episode tonight. You know she was probably promoting it all over the place. And you know she was probably waiting for Kyle to put the camera on her like, okay, here it comes the camera. Put the camera on me. Okay, here it comes. Hey, everybody. Hey, how's everybody? Does anybody want to see me for next season? How are you? Happy Thanksgiving. I love you. I love all my fans. All 3 of them. You know she was doing anything. She was doing the most to try to get some camera time. I'm like, okay. We also get a glimpse of Kathy, and I'm like, oh, look at her, all happy and everything before Lisa and Kyle betray her and try to take her down later on this season. But we didn't get a montage of Erika and what was she doing for Thanksgiving. It was just like, you get a Thanksgiving scene, you get a Thanksgiving scene, and you get a Thanksgiving scene, and none for Gretchen Wieners. Bye. Then we head over to Dirty Diana's house and we see Lisa make her return back onto the show after hiding away in New York with Harry to avoid seeing Denise at Garcelle's birthday party. So they're outside. Lisa goes on to say, oh, there's a bird. It reminds me of Lois. And I should have known after her whole meltdown last week on Instagram and calling out the Dubai wives and all of that, I should have known that she was going to use her mom's death as the excuse as to why she posted all of that, because she went on to put on Instagram, I believe a couple days ago or whatever, like 2 days ago, saying, oh, you know, grief comes in different ways and I was just emotional and I just wasn't really thinking on what I was saying. So I'm so sorry. Actually, I don't even think she put I'm sorry, but she went on to say that that was her excuse. And I'm like, no, Lisa, this is a constant pattern with you constantly throwing out all these low blows and just, you know, acting a hot ass mess online. And now you want to use your mom's death as an excuse? Absolutely not. And I'm just like, okay, so we continue on outside, right? Diana goes on to tell Lisa everything that happened at Garcelle's birthday party from her point of view. She goes on to say, yeah, I just can't believe Sutton was just way out of control. She threw a drink on me. She tried to choke me and fight me. She even pulled my hair and she put her hands like 3 times on my lap, hitting me and stuff. And she even called me what was it? She called me a mother A motherfucker. Yeah, and that's when you fuck your mom, right? And I'm just like, now what? All that money and you can't even buy yourself a brain? Like, what do you mean, Diana? And she also goes on to say, yeah, and she also shared her miscarriage story, and I was just trying to share my story, and then she tried to overpower my story with her story, and it was way too much, and it was just somebody give me and my tongue a napkin, please. It was just too much, Lisa. Can you please come and be my white knight and savior? And I'm like, Diana, you are only telling her your side of the story. What happened to you threatening Sutton and telling her, oh, you want me to headbutt you? Where's that? Where's that in the story? Lisa, she's shocked and she's just like, what? What? I can't believe Diana. Diana, what? You stole my storyline for next season of going against Sutton? That was supposed to be me. Wow, I can't believe this. Not on my watch. That would never happen on my watch. And I'm like, of course it wouldn't, Lisa. Of course it wouldn't. Because when it's convenient for you and your friends, it wouldn't happen on your watch. Because last season, Erika, she threatened Sutton right in front of you at the dinner table. And she said, oi, what? Oi, what? Oi, what? And what were you doing? Just looking around. So again, it's always convenient for you and your friends, you know, and again, even if you were there, what were you really gonna do? You're just embarrassed and you're still humiliated because Sutton put you in your spot like a couple of episodes ago at the dinner table when she exposed you for when she had the receipts, and now you're just bitter and you're just salty about it. So please save it. Then we head over to Kyle's house and she's with Mauricio and they're having Dorit and PK come on over. So they're all together in the living room. Kyle, she starts off the conversation by saying, wasn't it so funny at Garcelle's birthday party the way Erika was acting? I mean, she told Jax to get the fuck out. Wasn't it so funny? He. No, Kyle, it was not funny. But apparently to everybody else in the living room, it was hilarious because they were all laughing like they were in a Missy Elliott music video. I mean, they were all like, how, how. And then Mauricio, aka Maria, he was just like, yeah, Kyle, it was just so hilarious. Honestly, it was hilarious that Erika told Jax to get the fuck out. It was so hilarious. And I'm like, what is so hilarious about it? What is so funny about it, Mauricio? What is so hilarious about a grown woman being drunk and telling a 14-year-old, oh, get the fuck out? Like, what is so hilarious about that? And Dorit, just like I said at the beginning of this review, you were so close to being on the good side, finally, for once, this episode. But here you are, you just folded to Kyle like it was nothing. Like, you knew that it was wrong right then and there. But here, you went along with everybody else in the living room. And she was just like, yeah, I mean, it couldn't have been my child. But, I mean, it was nice to see Erika kind of loosen up and kind of have fun for once, but you know, it's not my child. So you knew that it was wrong, but you still went along and said, oh yeah, it's hilarious or whatever. PK on top of that, he has his 2 cents in, or and I don't even know if he has 2 cents to even rub together because I'm pretty sure he owes a lot of people money, allegedly. And he goes on to say, yeah, I mean, yeah, she's entitled to a blowout. You know, everybody's entitled to a blowout. So if she has to, you know, to curse at some 14-year-old kid, it's fine. He deserves a blowout. I'm not even sure what a blowout is. Like, what does that mean? I mean, obviously, Dorit's just like, oh, no, nobody deserves a blowout, or else you'll be in a divorce court or something like that. So I'm not even sure what he means by that, but honestly, it was all disgusting from all 4 of them to just constantly laugh at this. And of course, Kyle took to Instagram to defend this entire scene by saying, oh, no. All 4 of us, we were not laughing at the situation between Erika and Jax. We all think that that is completely wrong. We were laughing at the fact that she was drunk and just having a good time and finally loosen up. That's what we were really laughing at. And I'm like, but Kyle, the footage says otherwise. We see your husband, Maria. He obviously was poking fun at it. It came out of his own mouth saying, oh yeah, it's okay that Erika told Jax to get the fuck out. Like that came out of his mouth. So what are you talking about? We are not Sutton. You are not going to gaslight us into thinking that what we see on this show is something completely different from what you're talking about. So please save it. And on top of that, yes, this whole entire scene was wrong. And it's completely wrong that Erika, you know, told Jax what she said. But it is completely wrong for the audience to go to everybody's children's Instagram and start leaving such nasty comments. Because I went to Portia's Instagram because I was seeing that people were saying mean things about her. So I went to her Instagram. Her comments were so horrible. The same way for Dorit's comment. The things that people were saying about their children was just so out of line, and I just do not support that. Yes, their parents could be horrible and say some really trashy things and some horrible things, and they are fucked up for doing all of that, but their children do not deserve the backlash of the audience. I personally think that's wrong, and I really hope that anybody who's watching this, please do not go to anybody's comments and leave nasty comments like that. Like, stop it. Like, you can have your opinions on everybody on the show, but their children, they don't know any better than that. Yes, their parents are garbage and trash, but that's a whole different story. And Kyle, you would not like it if somebody went up to Portia or Farrah or anybody and said, oh, get the fuck out. I'm pretty sure that you and Maria would not find that funny. And the same thing for Dorit and Paula. We see Cherie heading over to Garcelle's house before they head over to Sutton's house for her event. And Garcelle, she's filling in Cherie on everything that happened between Jax and Erika, because at some point Cherie was separated from the group. So she wasn't there to witness everything that happened. And Cherie, she's in shock. She's like, wait a minute, what? She said that to your son? Isn't your son like 14 years old? How dare she? And Garcelle is just like, I know, but you know what? I'm gonna catch her when she's sober, because I didn't want to say anything right then and there because she was drunk and she wasn't in the right state of mind, but she's gonna be completely sober at Sutton's event. So don't worry, I'm gonna catch her there. And Cherie, she was all of us, because she told Garcelle, wait, can I be there when it happens? And Garcelle is just like, well, you better be there because who knows what's about to happen. So then Cherie's just like, you know what? Let me take off my earrings. And I seen a clip of Cherie on her show years ago, Hollywood Exes. I seen a clip of her floating around on the internet. And Cherie is not the one to play around with. So I'm pretty sure that she could back up her friend if something happens. Then Garcelle and Cherie pick up a glass of champagne. And right before they toast, Cherie, let me do it with them. She's just like, let's toast to setting bitches straight. Cheers. We head over to Sutton's house where she's having everyone come over so she could show them how she remodeled her new house, as well as have a little luncheon in the backyard. So Lisa, she showed up. Obviously, she didn't get the memo that it was not a Halloween party, because she showed up looking like Elvis, dressed as Spider-Man with Bratz doll's shoes. I'm like, I like the shoes, but everything from the ankle up, it looked a hot mess. I'm like, what is going on in the hair department? So Garcelle and Cherie, they're the next one to arrive. And Cherie, she introduces herself to Lisa. She's like, hey, I'm the new friend of the show. I'm coming for your diamond next season, so just be ready, okay? And please don't try me. So then eventually they hug. And I'm like, no, Cherie, do not hug her. Do not hug her. You're going to get some of her snake venom on your shirt. But she hugs her regardless. I believe Crystal, she was the next one to come in. You could tell that Garcelle has some type of tension built up inside. Like, she's just waiting for Erika to walk in through the door so she could address her about what she did to her son at her birthday party. So she tells everybody who's there at Sutton's house, she's like, well, I'm just waiting for Erika because I want to address her about what happened at the birthday party. So, just be prepared. And Lisa, you didn't have anything to say then and there, right? You just told Diana just a second ago, oh, that wouldn't happen on my watch. But here, Erika's just your friend, right? So you're not going to say anything to Garcelle? What happened? I mean, are you scared because she finally has backup in this case? I mean, she doesn't need backup, but she has Cherie. Just in case if you also want to jump in, Cherie could also jump in. So Lisa, quiet as a mouse. So then we see Erika. She's in her Uber pool, because she can't afford an Uber just by herself. So her Uber had to drop off like 20 people before they dropped her off at Sutton's house. She's in the car just shaking in her boots. Not because the police are looking for her because of all the fraud between her and Tom, allegedly, but because Garcelle is waiting for her at the party, and she knows that she is pissed at her because just a day ago she was walking with Crystal on a hike or something, and she told Crystal, well, I mean, I was just treating Jax or something. I just said something like on the line of, oh, shut the fuck up or something like that. I was just playing around. Like, I was just treating him like an adult. Isn't he like 16 or something? Crystal was quick to correct her, like, no, he's 14 actually. So Erika was just like, fuck. Like, what do I do now? And even if he was 16, no, it's still not okay for you to say what you said to him, Erika. So I'm not understanding in what world does Erika live in her head. Eventually, she shows up to the house, and you could cut the tension with a knife, because she walks in. Garcelle, she is fuming. She's just there like, oh, hey, Erika, hey, yeah, it's nice to meet me too. Because Erika goes up to everybody and she's just like, hey, how are you? Hey, Sutton, here's a candle. And I'm like, a candle? You showed up to her house with a candle? Absolutely not. If I was Sutton, I would have been like, get out of my house, or give me a gift card at least. So then she approaches Garcelle and she's like, hey, Garcelle, it's nice to see you. Garcelle is just like, yeah, it's nice to see me too. She said, thank you. She's not addressing her right then and there. I'm assuming she's waiting for, after the dinner or something, or until she catches her just one-on-one. So then Garcelle is just like, yeah, Diana's not coming. Yeah, she's not coming. She's not coming. Oh, yeah. Oh, really? Wow, Erika. Okay. Broke ass bitch. What? No, I didn't say anything. You're guilty in everything that you and Tom did. What? No, I didn't say anything. No, nice jacket. Yeah. Hey, Cherie. Yeah, no, she's here. Yeah, no, be on the lookout. Again, you could just cut the tension with a knife. Sutton shows them around the house and it looks nice. Like the before and after, it looks really good, right? I'm not sure why she was so ashamed about her refrigerator. You would think that she had a white refrigerator. The way she kept telling everybody, like, ignore the refrigerator. Don't look, don't look, don't look. I'm like, it's a cute refrigerator. What more do you want? But okay, so they go outside to the back, right? Everything is all muddy and swampy. There's a beautiful table with everything set on it in the middle of the ground, but everything around it is just all swampy looking. And I'm like, Sutton, how do you expect somebody to just walk on over in these heels or in these shoes? Like, I don't understand that. And it had just rained in California, so that explains all the mud. Lisa is acting as if her shoes were on layaway. I mean, she was acting as if she was gonna return the shoes the same day. She's like, no, I can't get them dirty. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. No, absolutely not. I'm on a payment plan right now with these shoes. I cannot get them dirty because I'm gonna return them tomorrow. I only bought them for this scene right here alone. So no, absolutely not. And I'm like, Lisa, relax. I thought you had money. What happened? What's going on? So eventually they get them to switch sandals. I believe she put on sandals instead. So she left her Bratz doll shoes on the side. They get at the table. They're all surrounded. And I believe Dorit, they ask her, and I keep telling the cast, stop asking Dorit how she's doing. Because then we get this tangent and tangent and tangent of her talking. She goes on to say, you know, I've been feeling pretty well. I've been feeling a little bit okay, but I can't seem to drive anymore. I don't know why. I don't enjoy being alone anymore. And you know, the things that I used to do back in the day, I just no longer find joy in them. And before I used to really. 2 very boring minutes later. Garcelle let Sutton know that Dirty Diana is not coming, and if she let her know that she wasn't gonna come, so Sutton is just like, no, I didn't know she wasn't gonna come. She didn't let me know. So Erika, she quickly jumps up and she's like, I let you know that I was gonna be late because I was in an Uber pool. So I let you know, Sutton. And Sutton's just like, yeah, she let me know, but I'm not sure why Diana didn't let me know. And then we see that she called Lisa in a flashback, and she let Lisa know that her doctor told her, you cannot go out, you need to be on bed rest. And I'm like, oh, so your doctor already told you before that you need to be on bed rest, but yet you still decided to show up to Garcelle's birthday party to cause havoc and to also threaten Sutton and say, oh, I could headbutt you, but here you can't even show up to her backyard event. So I'm assuming that you just pick and choose when it's convenient for you, Diana. So then Sutton, she's just like, I really don't like that. I feel like that's very passive aggressive. So then Elvis, she hears that and she's like, what? Wow, passive aggressive. Isn't that the pot calling the kettle black? Huh? Isn't that interesting? So then Sutton, she's just like, wait, what? What are you talking about? So then Elvis, she's just like, well, I just want to know because Diana told me. I just want to know, is it true that you called her a motherfucker and you also told her that she's very soulless? And then that's the way the episode ends. And honestly, if I was Sutton, I would have been like, yeah, what about it? What are you going to do? This is my house, so what are you going to do about it? What's going on? I'll put your shoes in the mud. That way you can return them, Lisa. So, I mean, again, I don't know what Lisa was trying to do off that. I'm not sure if she was trying to scare her or something. But again, Lisa, who are you and why are we supposed to be scared of you? No. And that was that, everybody. What did everybody think about this episode? And what is your opinion on the whole situation between Erika and Jax? And then the whole situation between Mauricio, PK, Dorit, and Kyle just all laughing? And do you buy Kyle's excuse that she said on Instagram that, oh, we weren't laughing at the whole situation between them. We were laughing that Erika was just, you know, having a good time and she was drunk and she was just all loose. What is your opinion on all of this? Like, what do you think about this whole cast in general moving forward? I mean, again, I don't know how Kyle is going to clean up her image after this because, again, she just keeps digging a bigger and bigger and bigger hole for herself. But let me know what you thought about this episode down in the comments. Bye, everybody. Mwah.